Listener, what are you doing here late at night? Aren't you supposed to be in your dorm? Yeah, of course. You can come in. It's so cold tonight. How are you wearing such a thin shirt? Oh, really? I'm going to put up the fireplace anyways. It's better to be warm and cozy than cold on this rainy night. How am I liking this room? It is very obviously much bigger and more private than the dorms. I like the bed too, but it feels like something is lacking. I don't know that I would miss the noise and laughter of other people. I always thought I preferred being alone, but this proves it wrong, I guess. Back to you, listener. Why did you come here? Also, if you like, you can stay here for the night. The bed is way too big for only myself anyways. Yeah, of course. I'm being serious. Oh. You come here just because you want to see me. I see. Is it because you have to leave tomorrow? At least we still have time now. And you can talk to me as long as you want tonight. That is, if you don't fall asleep first, of course. You can go to the bed and get comfortable. I'll get the fire up. This room has a really good view. I never really opened up the curtains to look outside before. True, all the training, meetings, and new plans take up a lot of our time. And you're going to another district tomorrow. Did Commander Hanji tell you how long it would be? You're just going there to do a Titan experiment, right? Hopefully that won't take too long. They said it could be over a month. What kind of experiments take that long to do? Hanji wants to capture 10 titans, put them all in the same captivity, and run multiple experiments. Wow, they really have wild ideas, don't they? I wish Captain Levi would allow us to be in the same group. I did ask him if I could move to yours, which is Commander Hanji's group, but he said I should prioritize service and work before personal feelings and connections. So, I guess there's no luck. What are we doing on Levi's team? As far as I know, I think we're heading towards the harbor to make connection with some anti-Marleyan volunteers, who will be arriving pretty soon. We don't know if their intentions are good or not yet, so it's better to have soldiers to guard the place, and all the interactions in general. We will also probably set up camp at the place for a while, and maybe, after we build up some trust with them, we can bring them back to the walls and show them around the central. Yeah, we would have to constantly clear the titans in that area. I wonder why Commander and Captain doesn't do the projects together, especially for things like negotiations. Wouldn't that be very important and should consist of more people? I know, I will be careful, listener. It's not like I was born into this world just yesterday. Of course, I know that I can't trust people that easily. And in fact, you are one of the very few people that I trust. You're worried that we're not going to see each other for a very long time. Listener, do you still remember the first day we met? Yes, I was sitting alone on a hill, listening to the sounds of the wind and gazing at the stars' shimmering reflection on a still pond, and simply enjoying the quietness until you broke the silence with a huge hysterical laughter. Quite honestly, I was really confused about why you were laughing. Yeah, I admit, I really did not notice there was a bird on top of my head. And yeah, it probably looked pretty funny. But other than that, it's a night like this, cold and chilly, and both of them, strangely enough, are warmed by your presence. And after you pointed out that there was a bird on my head, you sat down next to me, and we both just sat there in comfortable silence, staring at the pond for who knows how long, until we both started getting sleepy and decided that it's probably a better idea to get some sleep before a long day of training. I guess what I'm trying to say through all of this is that no matter where you are, we would still be gazing at the same stars. And that alone connects us. I know this sounds cheesy or bizarre or almost too idealistic and fairy tale-like. You can call me childish all you want, but what is life without some imagination, or even beliefs in some wild things? Here, you can use half of my blanket. So you don't have to just lay there bare and cold the whole night, you know? Of course I don't mind. Tonight is already warmed by your presence. Am I sleepy yet? Not really, to be honest. How about you? Not yet? We can have a chat then. A long chat before you set off tomorrow. What do I think the world would be like if Titans didn't exist? First of all, I believe we would be much happier. If no other beasts or monsters existed, of course. That would also mean there are no survey corps. And I may have never been able to meet you and the others. Isn't it a funny thing? I never had the intention of joining a military, and I only did so because Eren did. I thought it was a stupid idea to go into missions that have a high fatality rate. But after all we've been through, all the training and all the empowering talks from Commander Erwin, and most importantly, meeting you, it's like all of this was meant to happen. Of course, having no Titans would be an absolute dream. It's what we are aiming for after all, for all these years. But I don't know, without their existence, Survey Corps wouldn't exist. Listener, how about you? What do you think? How do you think the world would be? Yeah, you're right. We would probably be able to go to the beaches a lot more. It was such a strange but wonderful feeling. when we finally reached the ocean for the first time. The water was so blue, and the sound of waves crashing against rocks on the cliff. The whole scene was almost poetic in a sense. I wish we could go there more often. I know technically we could go there if we want to, but it would be so much of a hassle to clear the Titans on the way and to set up the camp at the base. Also, if Titans didn't exist, we would probably even have houses by the sea. I know Armin would be the first one to own the house. What do you think you would do if you weren't in the Survey Corps? An adventurer? That makes sense. You do have quite an adventurous spirit. I still remember that time when we have to navigate through the desert. You were so excited. It's like I could see light through your eyes. And honestly, I was just confused as to why you were so excited over a desert. Turns out you were just really excited about discovering the wilderness. What about me? What do you think I would do? You think I'd be a butcher? Where did you get the idea that I would be a butcher? Because I have great knife skills? Yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from, but still, that would be so bizarre. I think I would be a... Actually, I don't know what I would be. But imagine if I were actually a butcher. How would our encounter be? Wait, what if I help you hunt down animals during your explorations? That will work. Okay, it's time for my question. It's kind of random, but I'm curious. What's the most unforgettable dream that you've ever had? Really? What happened next? That sounds interesting. Go into more details. That is, if you can remember them, of course. I see. Well, that definitely is an unforgettable dream. What about mine? It's quite a long one compared to yours, so get ready for a bedtime story of my dream. It was a really vivid one, almost like a lucid dream, I think. Yeah, the ones where you can control what happens. But at that time, I just kind of went with the flow. I didn't really try to control what is happening. It felt so real that even though I knew it was a dream in the beginning, halfway through, I was just completely immersed in it. Yes, it is a good dream. I would very much rather be immersed in a dreamland than a nightmare. Let me set the scene first. The clouds parted slowly in the sky, revealing a soft golden ray. It landed on your face, illuminating your features with a heavenly glow. And you were smiling at me, with eyes filled with nothing but kindness. You grabbed my hand and told me that we're going to explore the place. Now that I think of it, that's actually quite accurate, because you wanted to be an adventurer. Colors bloomed across the land. It was filled with all types of flowers and plantations. Lavender, sunflower, ferns, desert roses, sage. Anything you could think of is there, flourishing and living its best life. You led me across the field until we arrived under a giant tree. The sun was about to set, and we sat under the tree, near a small stream, and set out our picnic. You prepared so many food, I was shocked. It was like your picnic basket was made of a magic box that could just take out any possible item that we want. There were honey toasts, chocolate cake, strawberries, and some savory food like omelette and meat, which actually, I think they're from John and Sasha's cooking competition. They tasted absolutely delicious. I still can't believe that Commander Pixie set up a cooking competition. Yeah, you're right. He was probably drunk out of his mind. Moving on, we were just laying there, eating the food, and I think we were chatting about training and our friends. Then it turned dark, and the moon rose. You said we should head back to the others, so I very unwillingly packed up the things, and we're ready to go. Then suddenly, over thousands of fireflies emerged from the grass, and they moved around in such a beautiful synchronized pattern, almost as if they were following a dance choreography. And we stood in the middle of this all, and it felt like magic, pure magic, surrounding us with bliss. It was such a perfect moment. The air also had a subtle scent of floral. And then you reached out your hand to my face. Then our lips met. And your lips tasted like honey and wine. Sweet and hypnotizing. Listener? Are you asleep already? Looks like you are. Well, I hope you have a great sleep. I'm just glad you're here. Sweet dreams.